Hi everyone, Emily here from Emily Reads, and today I have a book haul. So this is a little obscene because it's been from mid-July through now, and I also had a birthday. So between receiving some birthday gift cards, me overly treating myself, to be honest, using my free credit from Book of the Month, and then also just picking up some free books. And again, it being 2 months, it's obscene. It's obscene. So first I have an unboxing, and this box is quite a story to tell. So I ordered this book as part of my, with part of my birthday funds. The book came damaged. Like the corner was bent and it was like beginning to like tear. You know how it kind of like separates on the corners? So it's beginning to do that. So I put in for a return. And I still have the book sitting in my car. I need to return it. Well, then it was allegedly delivered to me, but it never made it. And I found it actually today on the front stoop of a neighbor of mine in a different building, same apartment number, different building. But it's been sitting there outside in a cardboard box, and it's rained a few days. So a book is going to be destroyed with that. So my neighbor could have that destroyed book. But at any rate, I got Jade Legacy by Fonda Lee. So that's book one that I got with my birthday money. There's a little like dent there, but I'm like, I think I'm going to just have to be okay with it. I really, truly hate Amazon. But I hate the fact so I live in what's considered a rural area. Like I have a Barnes & Noble and I have an independent bookstore, and that's about all I got. And I should have probably ordered this from my independent bookstore. Oh well. But I had a gift card from Barnes & Noble. So along with that gift card from Barnes & Noble, and I'll be reading Jade Legacy in November. I've read Jade City this month. So more thoughts to come in that wrap up. I also got North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. I love the BBC miniseries of this, and I've been meaning to read this for years and years and years. I don't think I'll read this in Victober this year, simply because I already have 4 books planned for October, just because they're like Halloween related. Well, one's a read-along, and then the others are Halloween-related. And then I could read another book that I'll show later that would fit for Victober and also would be fit for October. I also picked up Amari and the Great Game. I read Amari and the Night Brothers for middle grade March. Really enjoyed it. And so I've been waiting for the paperback release to come out because I have the first one in paperback as well. So I wanted things to match. And then I finally picked up the Tropic of Serpents, which is book 2 in the memoirs of Lady Trent by Marie Brennan. I really enjoyed A Natural History of Dragons when I read it last year, and have been meaning to get back to this series. I don't do well with, the audiobooks are delightful. I've started listening to the first one, but I don't do well with new things on audiobook. Like romances I do okay. Fantasy I don't. But there's also, this one doesn't have it. The first book had some beautiful pictures, and so I didn't want to miss out on those beautiful pictures. Okay, then I got a gift card to Barnes & Noble. Sorry, I'm shifting books around and trying to make things work so they don't fall and get bent and damaged. So I got a gift card to Barnes & Noble for my birthday. And with that gift card, I picked up Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I just want to see what the hype is about. I've heard really good things about this series, so we'll check that out. And then, of course, as I'm standing there in the checkout line, it was buy one, get one 50% off. So I picked up The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. And you'll see why I was like, ooh, I need that book. And then I also picked up With Love from Cold World, which this is by Alicia Thompson, and I had read at the big in July, I want to say, I read Love in the Time of Serial Killers, which I really enjoyed. And I've been eyeing this for a while, and since it was buy one get one 50% off, and I have no shelf control, I went for it. Then in July, it was Disability Pride Month, and my local independent bookstore had a display of books about disability issues. And the first one is My Body's Not a Prayer Request, Disability Justice in the Church by Amy Kenny. And this really intrigued me, one, as a special education teacher, and then also as a believer. I was intrigued just with the premise of it. So I've read the first chapter. It's been a while, so I need to get back into this book. And then I also picked up Disfigured on Fairy Tales, Disability, and Making Space by Amanda Leduc. And basically the thesis of this is if every disabled character is mocked and mistreated, then how does the beast ever imagine a happily ever after? So basically how fairy tales from the Grimm brothers to Disney show how just a lot of our like villains or beastly characters are people with disability or have some kind of disability, and how we need to have new kind of stories that celebrate differences. Then the next two books I got for $1 a piece at my local library has a perpetual book sale. So I picked up The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, which I've never read. I mean, I know what it's about, but I just have never read it. And I thought this would be perfect for Victober. I mean, it's Victorian, so Victober. And then also October and the spooky vibes. So I'm hoping to be able to read that in October. And then I also picked up Reader, I Married Him, edited by Tracy Chevalier, which these are stories inspired by Jane Eyre. And I love Jane Eyre. So I thought this would be intriguing. And then the next set of books are books that I got for free. So my library either has like a cart with just like books that you can pull off of there for free, or I got it at my school library, which also has books free for the taking. And notice I'm not going into like summaries of these books because there's 25 books. So we'd be here a while because I talk a lot. So first, this is not something that I got from the library carts. I got Red Seas Under Red Skies by Scott Lynch, which is book 2 in the Gentleman Bastard series. And this I got actually with money from like credit that I have on Pango Books from selling things. So I already have book 1 and book 3 that I found at Half Price Books. And I've been looking for book 2, and then I can dive into the series probably next year. Now these are books that I got for free. So first I got A Family of Her Own by Brenda Novick. It's a Harlequin super romance. Look, I just was looking for something fluffy, a light read, something that I could read and then just pass along. I also got Nickel and Dimed on Not Getting By in America by Barbara Ehrenreich. Now, this is dated. I mean, it was written in 2001, so it's 22 years old. But here's the thing. Given how the economy and all the inflation now, it's probably, some of the things that it talks about is probably still true today. And then I picked up Reading Lolita in Tehran, a memoir and books by Azar Nafisi, which I read this years ago when it first came out, and I loved it. I got rid of it, but I just keep thinking about this book, and when I saw it, I was like, ooh, I want to reread that. And I normally don't read memoirs, and I normally don't reread them. So that just tells you how good this book was for me. And then this was free. I picked up The Brothers Karamazov by Fyodor Dostoevsky. And I just was like, you know what? At some point in time, I need to read this book. It was free. The price is right. So I'll grab it. And then I also picked up The Cat Who Stars by Lillian Jackson Braun. Again, it was free. I picked up a lot of her books for free from the library cart. So I don't know how many I have in her series. I need to go through and figure that out before I start reading the series and piecing together what I have. And then I have a little other Barnes & Noble haul. Because again, I have no control. These were buy one, get one 50. So I picked up The Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. I do have The Glass House, and I have read Station 11. So I wanted to pick this up so that way I can read all three. And then I picked up The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. Again, I wanted something light. It was buy one, get one 50% off. I've heard so many good things about it. I did start to read this from the library, and then the timing was just not right for me. So I had to return it, and I thought this would be perfect for October. And then I also picked up from Barnes & Noble. Sorry, I'm trying to not knock things over. I picked up Winter of the Witch, which is book 3 in the Winter Night trilogy. I've read book 1. I'm hoping to be able to read book 2 at least this month. I was hoping to read a lot more this month, and it's just not happening. Partly it's back to school still, and partly I've been scrolling too much on my phone. So there's that. And then I also picked up The Liar's Knot by M.A. Carrick. I still need to read Mask of Mirrors, but I was like, I'm going to get on this hype train. And so many people love this series. And the people who love this series are people who I have similar tastes with on BookTube. And also it's Marie Brennan is one of the co-authors. And she wrote Natural History of Dragons, which I loved. So couldn't resist. Okay, now here's my book of the month stuff. So I have 2 months worth here. So I picked up August. Happiness Falls by Angie Kim. And this one, like, a father and a brother, I think, disappear, and then the brother comes back. Yeah. So the father and the brother don't return from a walk in a nearby park, and then the brother comes back bloody and alone, but I don't think he talks. Yeah, so he has a rare genetic condition, the Angelman syndrome, and so he doesn't speak because of that. So of their main selections, it was the only one that really intrigued me. And then I bought it because I wanted an add-on. I wanted to get The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer because so many people have been talking about this book on BookTube. And I just needed to check it out. And how it's been described is like a literary themed version of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So, sold, because I love Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and I love books. Then in September, I did go kind of crazy at Book of the Month. Again, the main picks I was not too terribly excited about. And the alternate picks I was also not too terribly excited about, or I already had them. So I did get The Intern by Michelle Campbell. I will probably read this at some point in time if Amy from Amy's Bookish Life and Krista from Books and Jams do a catch-up-a-thon. This will probably be on that list because I'm not too excited to read that anytime soon. But I did get The True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren, so hence why I had to get the Soulmate Experiment, because this kind of is a follow-up book. You can read them as standalones, but the characters from the first book do make appearances in this book. And then my free book for my birthday was Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. I do also need to read this at some point in time this year, because it would fit the debut prompt. I'm 4 books away from receiving, I think it's a sword bookmark. That's the secret prize that you can get. But I don't have the sword book. I know it's like a repeat prize, but I've never received that prize. So I'm like 4 books away. And I'm 1 debut book away. And I know this fits that debut prompt. So probably November. My books are falling all over the place. And then I picked up Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. Again, I caved into the hype for this book. So that's why I picked that up. And that's 25 books. So where that leaves me, what it means is there is a book sale. There's a charity book sale that's always done like 2 or 3 times a year. That will happen in November. And I will go to that one because the organization, it's a charity organization that does literacy programs for adults who are illiterate, and so it helps support programs to teach adults to read. So I will support that book sale. I find some good finds there. I'm going to look carefully at book of the month stuff because again, I don't know. I am hoping that they do the sequel for Divine Rivals. That one is one that for sure I want to get. And I do want to get Bookshops and Bone Dust. And I do have a pre-order for, I can't remember that. It's got something Flame. Immortal Flame, something Flame. The sequel for Fourth Wing. I've already pre-ordered that one. So really there's 3 books that I'm like, yes, like I will buy. I will cave and buy those 3 books. And I really need to look closely at Book of the Month and be careful with that. At any rate, those are my books. You let me know what you think I should prioritize in reading. And happy reading. Please like and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Bye.